I think all that dried up mud's coming out of there off that gate. Try to clean it up a little better this time. And if you'll notice, as I run the top angles and even the corners, I'm actually driving, if you want to use that term, I'm actually driving the paper with my left hand, pretty much with a straight-on push. And my right hand is generally just used to guide me and be ready on the control system for that cut. And once you get some practice with where to cut, how close to the other wall, you can cut really nice. And what you want to do is, optimally, you want to have each tape touching each other or touching the other board, but you don't want to tape them in too tight either. You want to allow about a half-inch room because the tape will stretch as you're rolling. So you want to have a little room for that stretch. And here you want to leave about an inch and a half or two over to accommodate a little bit of drag that you get maybe going down the wall. So as you can see, I've had a lot of practice with this, so my cuts are pretty nice. It's just a matter of the practice. You find out exactly where to cut, and it becomes a habit. And we'll roll those things in. Now when I get my roller out to roll my angle tape, what I do is I tape in a clockwise fashion. I'm going to roll and glaze in the counterclockwise. That way, as I perhaps will pull tape with me and add drag, this gives me a way of bringing it back with stretch. So we put our roller right there in the middle, right around the flat, and work our way down first, and we'll phase it up. And we'll work our way up. It's a much more positive thing. Now here on the tops, what I like to do, since I know what I'm doing, I go right at the end and start rolling because I know exactly how much pressure I can get away with putting on at any given point. But when you're starting out, what I recommend is you're in the corner. Rather than walk down the middle of the wall, what I'll do is I'll just take maybe one step and lean and use the length of my pole to put my roller as close to the middle as I can, and then just bring it back while I'm standing in the same spot. And get this in, rolled in real nice. Nice pressure, solid, is tight, and then I'll just walk my way down the wall at that time. And again, if you keep the tool square to the work and you've got your tape nicely creased while you tape, it's just a matter of keeping the tool square and keeping a minimum pressure on a good roller, and you roll it in nice and tight. And one other little factor here is as you go down to the bottom and up to the top, since your handle is actually connected in the middle of the roller, as you go to the extremes, you won't get good pressure, either on the bottom or the top. When you're standing here at this height, trying to roll the bottoms in this way, you won't really get that bottom 2 or 3 inches real nice and tight unless you actually bend or lower the handle almost horizontally. And give it a little extra. And maybe at the top, bring it on up. And give that a little extra rolling. You'll get the ends nice and tight. And that way the angle head won't catch that and pull it along with you. Now, let me do that thing one more time here where I just take a step. I've got 2 pieces of tape joined together here, so I'll just reach down to the one piece and bring it back. And then I'll just go about my business down the wall here. You can probably hear we're getting a few of those screws hanging out. Now that you go from the top angle, just drop my roller right down into the leg and put the pressure on right about the flat. And then roll those corners in there. Now here I'll just loosely come down to the middle and come back with a little more pressure. And if you do that, that minimizes a lot of walking back and forth. And as you become more skilled with the roller, you'll be able to do it just as fast as you can walk around the room pretty much. And that's where the You develop skills when you automatic tools, you just about do things as quickly as you can walk. Alright, now we'll try out the 3.5-inch angle head. I've also dipped it in a little bit of mud to prime it, as I say, so we're going to see how that works. What you want to do with the angle head, you'll notice that your handle has just a very small crook in it, and the head sits on a ball so that the handle can be turned in any direction, and the way it will affect the head is by holding the head square according to your body position. And that's the way you would use this little crook, is it allows you to turn the handle and you can keep the head square no matter where you're standing. Now as you do a leg like this, I call the corners legs, since we've rolled it properly and we've got the bottom nice and tight, we can go right down in here at the bottom. And again, we want to take our handle down a little horizontal. And we want to have our crook pointing down as we start coming up. And we want to put just a little pressure on. And we want to have that pressure medium or light. We don't really want to put a lot of pressure on because as you can see we hit this wet tape and we dug right into that. But we've got a beautiful corner there. It's well buried. It's feathered up very nicely. It's full. I'm very impressed with the first corner. So we'll go on down around the room. And again, the crook is used so that I'll be standing a little in front of the head and I'm going to keep the handle about that square angle into the corner. But I'm going to use the crook to keep the head square according to where I'm standing, which is going to be a little bit in front. So my crook is going this way, and I can just take it right on down the wall. Again, with just enough pressure, to lays the corners out. And I caught again on some flat tape there. But if we've got some areas that didn't come out that well, we can just go to the back and try that again. And if you're doing a room like this and you've got some wet flat tape up there, you can just take the pressure off and glide over those flat tapes. And again, once you get going with this tool, you'll be able to use it as fast as you can walk and finish those angles out. And there's a good reason to not go in that direction. Or there's a good reason why I go in the opposite direction from the direction I take. So I laid that second piece right on top there. But we'll use the tool to straighten it out. And there we go. No harm, no foul. We straightened it right out. Nobody screwed that up because nobody was watching, so we'll get by with it this time. We just have to hope that we don't bust the blade with all these screws hanging out.